you. It's going to be fine. I promise. It's going to be good. We're going to do it. We're
I
going to do
have
it.
faith. It'll be good.
Yes, it's going to be good. Serious. Okay. So, do you guys understand this? I thought this stuff was super complicated.
Yeah, this is where it gets really hard for me, and I'm of no help or use.
I had to go over everything twice.
Yeah, me too. And I have like this, I've already taken like 2 full sheets of notes for the next test. But I just put all this stuff on here that when they're asking all these questions about if the interval gets wider, if you're gonna up the confidence interval, is it gonna get bigger or smaller or whatever. I don't know. So I just made this sheet with I'm trying to think of what it has. Like it says the confidence interval sample size, if it increases, that the other values are all the same, then it decreases. So, because I don't totally get it enough to like figure it out. I don't know if you guys do or not, but.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat.
Okay, yeah, that's what I did. I don't even mind if it's helpful. I can type up these, because these notes really did help, because I took the quiz last night.
Mm-hmm.
If you want me to type these up, I will totally type them and email them to you guys if you feel like it would be helpful.
I feel like that'd be super helpful, but I don't want you to have to go through all that effort either. That's a lot of effort.
I do not mind. No, I really don't mind one bit. I'm not kidding. My husband has been able to help me with some of this stuff. I told him if he were not here for us to kind of do this kind of together-ish, I wouldn't understand it at all. I would have to have a full-time tutor. So it's just too complicated unless you have like a reference for it, which none of us do.
Yeah.
We don't have any background in it. So, but do we still have to do the project at the end or no?
I haven't heard about a project. It'd be amazing if we didn't, because that project was just annoying. But we didn't get started until later for our project, but I don't know.
Okay, I don't remember if it was in the syllabus or not, but anyway, I hope we don't too. But if we do, we'll figure that out too.
It was in the syllabus. Okay. I don't think we start for another couple of weeks on the big project for the end.
Well, what I like about it is it can be as simple as we want. It doesn't have to be like super hard. What we did, since one of our ladies was in real estate, what we did is we took like 3 different states across the country. So we took one in the East and the Midwest and the West, and our hypothesis was like at least one of these will be in a different range, like at least one of their means will be different, so it's different costs for living across the country. And it was like super easy because all the information was like right in front of us. We just looked up like the average cost for several different cities in those states or whatever, and did like the math for it and stuff. But so we can find something that's awesome. That's pretty easy. That doesn't include. Yeah, because if we involve like people at all, or like talking to people, or having people do like
questionnaires or something.
Yeah, we have to go through this acceptance process of getting acceptance from the school, and it's really hard for some reason.
Oh yeah, let's just do something easy. I'm glad that you know that, because I don't even know how to go about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the number 3, find the margin of error for a 90% confidence interval when the standard deviation is 50 and the sample size is 25. So I went to the margin of error formula. I don't know. Can you guys see this? I don't know if you can see that or not. Where am I? Yeah. Can you see that? The margin of error.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did. So it's M equals Z, and then it's the standard deviation on the top divided by the square root of N. Did that make sense?
M equals
Z.
Here,
let me see if I can show you. I don't know. Is this backwards to you guys? I don't even know how this.
No. Okay, so it's okay. Standard deviation over the square root of N.
The square root of N, yeah.
Cool.
So anytime you're looking for the margin, they ask for the margin, that's what you want.
Awesome.
So let me see, what does it say? 90%. This is another thing I wrote down because I can't freaking remember this. They said these are the Z-scores for the margin of error, and these are usually always the ones they use. So 90 is 1.645. 95 is, I'll read them to you, but I wrote these down because they said that these are usually always the one they use. So 90 is 1.645. 95% is 1.960. And then 99% is 2.576.
Cool.
So the formula, the the Z then would be like that Z source would be, it says it's supposed to be, what does it say? 90% confidence interval. So you put 1.645, that's going to be the Z.
Uh-huh.
And then the standard deviation is going to be 50. So 50 over the square root of 25.
Which is 5.
And then we got to do the math. Did that make sense, you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you just do the math. 5. Whoops.
That one's easy. 16.45
Yeah, that was
because it's 10.
Yep. Yeah, it's just it's knowing what they're asking for. That's the hardest thing for me, is just knowing for sure what they want.
It's so true.
I got 16.54. Is that what you guys got?
4
I got 16.45.
For the 90%, the Z-score is 1.645.
Yeah, that's what I put down, but I don't know
And
why
then the
it's
square
54 here.
Yeah,
the square root of 25 would be 5, so it'd be 1.645 and then 50 over 5. So then just divide 50 by 5, which would be 10.
Yeah, so it should be 1.645. That is so weird, because I did it on the calculator and I did it in all the parentheses and it flipped it around. That is so weird. Okay.
Okay, awesome. So 6.45. Okay, let's go to the next one. Which of the following statement is true? Okay, I thought that it had to be something that has to do with the point estimator. So I thought it was one of the two middle ones, but how I got to the answer is, and I just wrote this down because this is, I don't know, Cassie, how you study for the test, but what I did was I went over all of the homework assignments, the homework and the group quizzes. I just went over all of those and I made every possible note that I could because I knew that I wouldn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
But what the answer is the
X bar is a
sample
point
mean
estimator of mu, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is because on a regular distribution, the greater number of samples, so the more samples that you have, the closer the sample mean is going to be to the population mean. So
That makes sense.
so the
Like,
population,
logically.
right? So the sample mean, because it's a regular distribution, where the sample mean is going to kind of tell us a little more about how big the pop is.
So,
And I don't fully understand. So it's the sample mean, it's number 2.
So because the sample mean is like when you have a population, the sample is just a little small portion of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the larger the sample is, the closer it's going to be to the population. Does that make sense?
yeah.
So those numbers will just automatically end up, like, if you get a high enough sample to where it is a compilation of the whole population, your population and your sample are going to be the same. So they're
going to be
bigger the
closer
sample
together.
Is like the meanings for the symbols have changed. Like the U is the sample mean instead of the actual mean. So I can't quite remember which is which when it comes to the symbols. That's what's tripping me up.
The sample mean is now.
They changed the names of it too. Like standard deviation is for the population parameter, and the
population mean.
I don't even know what they call it for the sample anymore. Like it's the S symbol or something. It's weird because the symbols, like when they're explaining it in the homework, it's different than what they ask you on the quiz, and I don't understand like how they're transitioning that, like what symbol means what.
There's a small bar graph or a small graph in the homework that has sample statistic and then what the symbols are for mean, standard deviation, and variance and population parameter. I think I would keep that in your notes so that when they say sample statistic, that that's what those symbols are. And then when they say population parameter, the symbols will change.
See if I can find it here, because I'm here on the lesson.
I wrote all those down too, because they used to call it the Z score. That's what the Z was, but now they're calling it the test statistic.
Yeah. That's like the most confusing thing, because they've been using it all this time for one thing, and now suddenly it means something else.
I know, you finally feel like you get it, and then they change it.
Yeah.
Did you find it, Cammie?
No, I can't find it.
Where is it,
Here.
Chase?
At the top.
Okay.
I was looking at the bottom. It's at the very top.
I just wrote those on a piece of paper so I could keep looking back at them.
I'm going to do that right here. Sample population. Variance is S squared and L squared. Okay. I need to like learn the Latin names, because that's what they use for those two, or the Greek names, or whatever they are. If the O is like sigma or something. I don't know what the U is.
U.
Yeah, Cammie, you're kind of cutting out.
Sorry. All right.
Did you get number 4 though?
No. So I'm thinking it's the third one, right? U is a point estimator of X. Is that what you're?
It's X bar is a point estimator of mu.
What?
X bar is a point estimator of mu.
Okay, that would make sense.
So it's the second.
sample.
Yeah.
Estimating the population. Okay,
Mean,
I got
yep.
it. Thanks.
Okay. Okay, number 4, or no, or 5.
Mhm.
Gina wants to construct a 95% confidence interval for GMAT scores. She knows the standard deviation is 113. Simple random sample of size 64, sample mean of 526. Use this information for the next 6 questions. So what is the point estimate for the true GMAT score? The point estimate, so that would be the sample mean, which tells us that the question before was right.
Okay.
Sample mean is the
So it'd
point
be
estimate, so it would be
526.
526.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. What is the margin of error? So we have to do the same thing for this one that we did for number 3,
Mm-hmm.
except instead of it being 90%, it's 95%. So we're going to do 1.960. 1.960. And then it's going to be, the standard deviation is what? 113 over the square of,
64.
what's the sample size? 6. Okay. Do you guys know how to set that up? Did that work okay?
1.960 times 113 divided by 64 squared. I got 27.685. Is that what you got?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you say it was again?
Yeah, that's right.
27.685.
All right. Question 7. What is the lower limit of this confidence interval? Round to 3 decimal. So do
Okay,
you,
so where's the, this is the thingy I used for that. I don't know if you can see that. Because that's the determined parameters of the
oh yeah, keep that there for 1
intervals.
second.
Okay. Can you read it? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's perfect.
I can kind of read my sloppy writing. And this formula gives you the parameters of the confidence interval. So it's the exact same formula, but one is plus and one is minus. So the minus is going to give you the lower parameter, and the plus is going to give you the upper parameter.
Okay.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
Okay. So it'd be 526, which is the sample, and then we would do the answer that we got, or 27.685. We would just take that from the sample mean, which is 526. Does that make sense?
So we would take 526 minus 27.685.
Right, 0.685. Because we know that that's the margin. And so we want the lower, they're asking for the lower side of the confidence, the lower limit. So we take the sample mean, which is 526, and then just subtract that number. If you put it in
So 498.315.
Did that make sense, Cammie?
Yeah, I got that one.
Okay. Yep, so that one's right.
So the next one you would just add it instead.
Yep, you add it instead.
Five 3.685.
Yep. Did you get that, Chase? Did you get the last one, Chase?
He said, yeah.
Okay.
What would happen to the width of the confidence interval if Gina increased the sample size? So the width of the confidence interval, this is the one we were talking about at the beginning.
Yep, yep. So if the sample size gets bigger, then the confidence interval will get smaller. Because, okay, I got to think of how this works. So,
Ouch.
yeah, it's kind of like what we were talking about before. It's like if you have a bigger, it's kind of like talking about the population and the sample mean. If the sample size gets bigger and bigger, then your parameters for that confidence are going to get that comfort, because what you're trying to say is if it's like
You're 100% confident.
what was it? Yes, you're going to say I'm 95% confident that it falls between this and this. So the bigger the sample size gets, the smaller the confidence intervals gets.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, it would decrease.
Yep.
And I don't know, sometimes I don't always can wrap my brain around why this all works. I'm still trying to figure this out, because on more and more, but I do know it's decrease.
Okay.
And I put that in the notes too.
So what would happen to the width of the confidence interval if Gina changed it to a 99% confidence interval?
So think about that. If everything was the same, if the sample size was the same, the confidence interval spread, then it would get bigger. You know what I'm saying? So, because if you're saying the confidence level, let's say it's 90%, then it's going to be less space in between here, because you're going to say the parameters, the low side is this, the high side is this. But if the sample size is the same, but you increase the confidence interval, then you're saying, okay, it's now not now 90, it's 99% interval, then that's going to get bigger. Does that make sense?
That does make sense.
Because if your confidence is only 95, then you only have that much. But if it's 99, then you got a little bit more.
So for 10, it would increase.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Question 11. Brightbulb light bulb company is planning a study to assess the average life expectancy of their light bulbs. They know the standard deviation is 400 hours. They want a 95% confidence interval with a margin of error of 50 hours. What sample size do they need? This is the one that always confuses me.
Okay, 11. Need to figure out the sample size. So okay, where is that? I got to look at okay. So this is the formula we want for that one. That one right there.
Okay.
Can you guys see that? So N equals Z times the standard deviation over the margin. And then you put it in parentheses and square it. That's going to give us the sample size.
Okay.
Yep. It has that little asterisk-y thing by the Z just to tell you that you're multiplying those two. So where are we? 11. So we'd have, because we know it's The Z, what was the percentage? 95?
95.
So we go back to that little thing that tells us what the Z-score is for 95. 1.960
Oh.
times, and then what's the standard deviation?
400.
30, no. Oh, 400. Okay, so 1.960 times 400 over, and then what's the margin? 50 hours is so over 50. Then put that in parentheses, and you want to square it. So do the multiplication first, then divide, and then square it.
What? Uh-oh.
Squared. So 245.8624.
Yeah, and remember, whenever we do a sample size, we always round it to the nearest whole number because you can't have a fraction of a sample size. So that's the only time we round to the nearest whole number is when they're asking for a sample size.
246 then.
So, yep.
Sorry, hold on one second. I
Is that what you got?
clicked off my page.
No, go for it.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, hold on one second. Click. Okay. 246.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's what I got.
Yep.
I think, honestly, you guys, if we can just get the formulas down, which you know we can use the formulas for the test. If we just can figure out what they're asking for, we're going to be fine. We're going to be okay.
Yeah. Okay. The mean salary of actuaries is mu equals 100,000 and the standard deviation is 36,730. You're interested to know if the mean salary for women actuaries is different from the population mean, but are not sure if it is higher or lower. You set up a hypothesis test with level of significance A equals 0.05 and HO mu equals 100,000 and HA mu equals 100,000 or does not equal 100,000. You collect a simple random sample of n equals 36 women's salaries and find that x bar equals 111,000. What is the lower limit of the 95% confidence interval?
Okay.
Okay.
So that means we
So
have to
first
find the margin.
We already know what
we
the
know
Z,
the margin.
yeah. Yep. We got to find the margin of error first and then subtract it. And then the next one, I think, yeah, then we add it.
Okay.
And what's the percent? The percent is
95.
95.
What is the lower limit of this
is-
95%
Oh, yeah,
confidence
yeah,
interval?
95. Okay. Got it.
It's just in the question. They were being confusing.
Right. Okay, so 1.960. The standard deviation is 36,730, so that would go on top, and then the square root of, what's the sample size?
36.
Sample 36.
Oh, right there, 36. Okay.
Squared. So I got $99,002. Is that what you guys got?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then, so now we take that same number,
And then
right? And then we just add it. Yep.
And that's 122,998. Is that right?
Mhm.
Yep, that's what I got.
Yep. And then there are 3 requirements that need to be checked when computing a confidence interval for a mean. They are all of those.
Yep.
I feel like that was a really weird question, like how they did it, because
Mm-hmm.
you couldn't
Well,
select
it
all
says the 3
3.
requirements. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
That was
weird.
actually when they kind of gave us, which is kind of nice because it says there are 3 requirements. It's like the only choice would be all of the above.
Sweet. Okay.
Okay, I will type up these notes, and if you, I mean, I'll just attach it, and if you guys want them, you can use them. But that helped me a lot when I took the test, is just having the formulas, but then little things. Like I put a couple sample questions from the homework that I didn't really understand,
Yeah.
so that if they ask that same question on the test, which not the exact same question, but I mean the same type of question,
Yeah.
then I knew it, because that's what really trips me up, is just not knowing what they're asking for. I'm like, I don't really know what they want.
Yeah.
So
That makes so much sense.
we're
We
all
got
going to
100.
get through this, guys. We are.
I love how like
See?
it
We're doing
flows
good.
so easy from my mind, like when it's like in this type of setting, but as soon as it's a test, I can't do it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, but that's common with people. My son,
Yeah.
my oldest son, has test anxiety like that. He can know all the information, and then when he goes in to take the test, he just gets, his mind just gets kind of boggled. But like I said, we don't have to get an A. We just have to pass this class.
Yeah.
And we're already, we're almost halfway there. So anyway, and I don't mind when I type up my sheets too. I don't know if it's helpful for you guys at all, because it's everybody studies differently, but I am more than willing to. I went through that, that index thing
Yeah.
that I told you about where you click on. I wrote down probably 30 of those.
Yeah.
I typed them in little writing, and I didn't use that many of them, but there were like 4 of them that if I hadn't written it down, I would have missed them, because I can't remember, So yeah, I don't mind at all sending you those, because I'll work them up. And
That's super helpful.
so, I mean, if you want to,
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate the help you guys give me when I don't know what I'm doing. So, well, thanks you guys.
Yeah, thanks.
And we'll talk to you on Thursday.
See you guys.
All right. Bye, guys.